Welcome back.
Yo.
Stay Dangerous Podcast.
Stay dangerous.
Episode 2. Man, episode 1 was so much love, bro. I'm glad we do this, man.
Yeah.
That shit felt good.
Facts. Do you want to tell these niggas your names?
We gave them so much about ourselves.
For the ones that's not watching, for the niggas that's just listening, they like,
who are these niggas?
Who are these niggas?
We gave so much our relationship with crime, family stories, all type of stuff, but never said who we are. I'm Brendon. Brendon Henderson, man, from Denver, Colorado, from a neighborhood called Park Hill, bro. It's one of them spots, if you know, you know. And man, couldn't be more, like most people who know me from all around the world know I'm from Park Hill. I'm proud of where I came from, but lived in a lot of different places. New York, where we met, Chicago, DC, LA now, and done a lot of different things. But for the most part, you know, just another flawed human trying to get this shit right. I've had a lot of titles, but the most important one is dad. And I'm sure we'll get into a lot of shit. I mean, even later this episode, we'll get into some of the shit I've worked on or worked in. But yeah, I'm Brendon.
I'll intro myself. My name is Kief Barron. I'm going by Kief on here. I go by Kief to a lot of people as well. That's just simply because, you know, motherfuckers have a hard time enunciating, so it's Kief like Chief Keef. Not Keith.
No TH on the thing.
Ain't no TH. From Alexandria, Virginia. I've always had spent most of my childhood, went to high school down there. I've always had ties in New York, Brooklyn specifically. So came up to Brooklyn in my mid-20s. Been here ever since. So you know, I mean, y'all caught a glimpse of me on episode 1, but you know what I mean, this who I am. Just had my 33rd birthday. Motherfucking, I'm gonna let more of myself come out in this, but that's all they need to know for now.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm cool with that for now.
The pod is giving you everything about us.
I kind of
like,
thought
more than
about
the intro could.
Yeah, I kind of thought about like getting into it on the intro, and I'm like, man, just gonna see what's up. Tune in.
For sure.
That's it.
This episode, man, it's a deep one, or it could be.
Which one? What episode not gonna be that though?
100%. We ain't doing this to play around.
That's what we in this bitch for.
100%. So we gonna get into deprogramming on this episode, y'all. Deprogramming from a lot of different things, and one of the things that we challenged ourselves was like, what is the program? It's so deep, it's hard to even recognize sometimes. But
what is the program? That's always a question. Everybody caught up in a program in some way. Identifying what the program is a different task.
100%. And you shared a little bit about episode 1 about your time being locked up. You was curious about my time, you know, on the corporate side in the program, or just even the educational program, all that shit. So let's get into it.
Get it. So we talk about deprogramming. I kind of wanted to give and share my experience in how I was able to deprogram or get out of the program, I guess, and where I found myself I was always incarcerated. I was always dealing with arrest, dealing with the law, dealing with trouble a lot throughout my years. So I came up, I guess, in was quote unquote the system. You know what I'm saying? So I had to deal with that.
Would you say you was a bad kid, or you mischievous, or what was it?
I guess that's how I'd be labeled, but you know what I'm saying?
No, but I mean for you, did you?
Never felt bad, but you know, I went through them little phases of like, I was on some bad shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was still kind of like, you just a kid. But no, I never felt bad at heart though. Never felt bad at heart. But after a while, there was a point where I was getting told that I was bad, that I was just like, oh, okay, this what it is. I found
the dark side.
Yeah. This what it is. I'm bad. Everybody sound bad. Parents sound bad. School sound bad. Judge sound bad. I must be bad. You know what I'm saying? So that is the program in itself. I'm bad now. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm bad, what do bad niggas do? You know what I mean?
Let me get
I'm
with
the
it.
best bad nigga that you ever seen. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of mentality. But in coming up, I didn't get. I was arrested every year from probably age 13 to 24, and this is not
Damn, boy.
I know, right? It sound crazy, right? But it sounded like I'm doing a lot of wild shit, but it was never that. It was constantly one case give me probation here, now I'm on probation. Now I'm driving on suspended, violate here, case on this, violation case that. But you know what I'm saying?
Once
Little
they
shit.
get you, they
Yeah,
got you.
stealing
Yeah.
shit, know my name, just tagging on top of that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of back and forth bullshit. And this never even harp on my experience, because I know I've been in the system, so I seen way niggas go through so much more and so much worse that it's like, man, like my story is nothing. It feels like, you know what I mean? I don't want to say that it's nothing, but that I'm never trying to glorify or broadcast mine. Like, it's not a lot of other niggas going through way more realer shit. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I'm talking to them niggas too. So, but nonetheless, and growing up in that, it was hard because I was the only one kind of in that lane. I was the only one getting in trouble. It wasn't like I was running around and a bunch of my peers on the same shit. I was the bad kid. You know what I mean? So there was never a support group.
Oh yeah, so it's just not your parents; it's every other
It
kid's
is
parents.
every
like
other
that.
kid. Stay away from that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
and they not understanding why I'm doing the things I'm doing. It was never for me. It was never, yo, let's just be bad. I'm not a rebel without a cause ever, fam. If I'm stealing shit, why I'm stealing shit? Because I don't got no bread. My mom don't got no money. But I live in the suburbs. But when you live in the suburb, it's Alexandria, not the suburbs, but I moved to Woodbridge. And if you're familiar with Virginia, you know what that is. So it's the suburbs, but so when you're in the burbs, everybody assume that you kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? My family rent. So it's like,
Yeah.
yo, we might live in the same though. Your family own that home. My mom rent that home, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't the same situation. So I ain't had no money. I used to steal shit, get into selling weed and shit, and obviously all through that, I caught a lot of flack. School, all that, I get kicked out of school before I graduate. You know what I'm saying? So by age 18, 19, I'm now a high school dropout and a convicted felon. So you can imagine by that point.
So you up?
What they telling me, you know what I'm saying? What they telling me, my projection.
Oh yeah, your life is over.
My
What
life
the?
is
I already know
over.
how
You
they
know what I mean?
talking.
You already know how many times I heard that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't really even know, like, I'm fighting against that of like, oh, your life. So when people telling you your life is over, so it's pretty much like, I'm not gonna help you. You ruined your own life. This your fault, and just, you know what I'm saying. So like, what you expect me to do? I'm still waking up tomorrow. So shit, shit ain't never over till it's over. I don't know what niggas talk about on that. So I'm gonna make it shake.
How was you able to get past? Because that's a level of programming, basically trying to program you to give up.
Yeah.
Like, just accept it is what it is, and you never gonna be shit. Like, how did you?
Yeah.
How were you able to repel that? Because it sounded like you had a shield from that.
Yeah, kind of in the way of just my self-confidence, that arrogance, that confidence that people call you cocky or they call you whatever, but it's just a strong like belief. And I'm not that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, it ain't like I ain't worked jobs. Like, I think I'm beneath that. I worked mad jobs from motherfucking Fuddruckers, fast food, Burger King.
Fuddruckers, throwback. I ain't heard that in a minute.
I've been at Circuit City. I done sold cars. I done went door to door shit. I done did all these jobs, you know what I'm saying? And I try them out. It ain't like I'm just sitting here like I ain't too good for a job. I done try all that shit, but in being in all that shit, I realized, oh, this that bullshit. Y'all not paying me enough. Y'all working me too hard. These niggas up in here ain't doing shit. I ain't fucking with none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was really just having that belief, like, yo, what do you mean? I'm confident in myself. I could do. I didn't think necessarily that I could do whatever. I was just always of the mindset of I don't gotta do this. I could do some other shit. Whether even if the mentality is I'll go run up in somebody's house and steal some shit before I'm doing this. That was my mentality. So I always kind of those thoughts, but deeper down and going through the years, I'm able to discover like, oh, I'm thankful for that, because it was like that's the only thing that kept me going, was telling myself I'm that nigga when I wasn't that nigga. That's it, bro. That's all I had was myself. If they would have took that, if they would take that from me, but I did shit personally that made it like when I was at my lowest, that's when I started going the hardest in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, now what, nigga? At least I'm broke, but I'm benching 250, 6-packed up, yada yada, bust niggas ass and ball. Like, I still got some type of self-confidence, self-worth that I'm keeping going for myself. You know what I'm saying? And able to stay focused on track until where I'm gonna crack that shit. You know what I mean? I don't like calling myself a smart nigga, but I know I ain't no dumb nigga. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't no dumb nigga, so I'm gonna figure it out. If you could figure out how to make 50K, 60K a year, I could damn sure figure it out. I just gotta do a different way.
All right, so you high school dropout, convicted felon, and then so you say that was like 19?
Yeah, by about 19, by 20 now. By like 20, I was convicted felon already on probation, and yeah, high school dropout, all that.
So me being familiar with the DC area, you in Woodbridge or grew up in Woodbridge, all your friends is college kids.
Yeah.
So
I spent a lot of time on college campuses too. I got the college experience without the college.
But how's that dynamic? Like, are your peers now telling you what the parents and the judges used to say?
Yeah, especially as it's going more, you know what I'm saying? Like, as people getting older, because, you know what I mean, when you kids, and like, they'll see it more, but then as they start going to college, getting the degrees and start getting those entry-level jobs, then it's like, oh, you got a felony, nigga. I just work hard, I got a 4-year degree just to get this 45K a year job. You don't got, oh, you not about to do nothing, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't hear that, but I hear a lot of slick comments, you know what I'm saying? I would pay attention to the shit and just kind of see, like, okay, that's I would watch, and people think that it could be whatever, but while they was on campus, I'm selling weed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting to experience the college experience without doing all the shit. I'm having all the fun y'all want to have, but I don't gotta learn, and I'm the most up nigga at this. Yeah, I don't gotta learn what y'all learning, right? I don't have to go to class.
Yeah.
And I figured out to make income. So even at those younger years, it's like, oh, all right, bet I'm kind of figuring it out. And
so the question, did you look down on them like they look down on you? Yeah.
1,000%. Like, yeah, 1,000%.
Like a sucker born every day.
Yeah, like, yo, I'm looking at y'all niggas like, how much you say that student loan was for? All right, cool. I'll come up there. I ain't making nothing but 800, 1,000 a week. Y'all niggas, I'm the most up nigga in this shit by far. I'm the most up nigga in this bitch by far. And even that mentality, that's probably not the right mentality to have at that time, because that's not what I think about college. I don't think you just going there wasting your money, all that. I think there's a real purpose that shit you can get out of college. But in looking at what they were learning in the college, and then kind of now being older and seeing how it's all unfolded, I had that shit figured out the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you were being fed the program of, first of all, like, this is success. You got to look at success as this, suburban kid, value education, go to college, do this, but also being fed a program of, hey, if you're not that, you should just give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was never presented to me as, okay, you don't got that, well, here's what you can do. It was never that. It was like, oh.
Niggas give you a shrug.
Yeah, niggas like, okay.
That's the crazy part about probably being out there, because if you was in like inner city somewhere, niggas seen it before.
They seen that before. Like, nigga, my man's got, that's nothing. Nigga,
come down,
my shit is nothing.
There's this program, you could go here.
Boy, you could do all this. Boy, they see me. I'm a nigga, when I go to the jails and shit, like, this nigga's the golden child of, not the gold, but like, yo, like, you can do something with this nigga. Yeah. Like, I ain't just some fucking off the wall inmate with nothing to offer type shit, but that's how they was trying to paint me. But I'm also realized to them I'm probably a threat, so they like, yeah, we good off this nigga.
That shit's wild. I remember, dog, I used to teach fucking GED at a spot. Niggas come off the bus from jail to that spot.
Yeah, that's what it
niggas had to know about the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But, you just grew up in a neighborhood where niggas would know about the spot. Woodbridge, not that spot.
Exactly. You the only nigga that's doing this shit. Niggas just looking at you like, these are kids that have never been arrested at all. If they did that, they mama would.
How far is Woodbridge from Lake Braddock?
30, 40.
So it's not around the same.
It's like 30.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Fairfax.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you got to
okay.
go through Fairfax to get to DC.
Yeah,
You know
okay.
what I'm
I'm
saying?
trying to, yeah. As you know, went to school in DC for context, so I know a little bit about the
Yeah,
Virginia
I'd have been
suburbs,
locked
but
up
like,
there. Fairfax, Alexandria, Prince William County, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I mean, again, out of it is kind of just is that confidence that I had in myself, and that I always know that there's another way. I'm in the game. I'm me. I could still make whatever shake, and I'm the type of nigga where I'm down to crash out about it. So the get rich or die trying type mentality with me.
did you ever even? So we talked about your life outside mostly, but when you were inside, did that pressure of that program, did that ever get to you?
What would you?
Well, like even last episode, you talked about you can't express emotion, um, and obviously, like you had to deprogram to be able to do that. You maybe even talk about how you made that shift from what you can't do inside or what you can't feel or express to. It doesn't sound like your confidence was shaking, but this is a
And
part of human experience that you're missing in there. How do you get out of that?
yeah, no, for a fact. And there was times where my confidence was shaky. There was plenty of times where I look and be like, "Damn, are these niggas right? Am I bad? Am I unable to do nothing? Am I, or is it, oh, them janitors that I look at, oh, is this how they end up like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, I had to take them looks of like, but then I gotta shake it off. You know what I'm saying? I had them thoughts, I gotta shake it off. So in jail, the same thing. I definitely, when I would ask about like, or when you in jail, you get them typical questions. So what you gonna do when you get out? My mom would come ask me what I'm gonna do. But shit, I was in jail. What I'm learning in jail? Crime. More crime. I'm in my cell. I got a whole notebook full of. I had a whole notebook
Full of
full of more
jugs.
crime. Yeah, cause I'm looking. I'm like, yo, you
This
say you
nigga,
did
boy.
what? You did what? All right, but you got caught.
Taking
How?
notes.
Yeah, you got caught. How? All right, not do that. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it, because it was just nothing. Like I said, nobody was. Here's what you can do. There was no nothing. They just asked me like, what's up? What you gonna do, nigga? I don't know, nigga. What you mean? I need some money. All right, well, you gotta get a job. Where? I'm not working at the grocery store. You feel me? So it's like, I'm gonna figure something out. If you don't got nothing to offer, once I identify that these people don't have nothing to offer, or there are people that they don't have my best interest in mind, and or I don't want to be nothing like you, I'm tuning you out. Like, I ain't even hearing you. So even my own mama come talk to me. I don't want to live like my mom. I don't feel like my mom know what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? My mom is an immigrant white parent from Finland. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black kid in America going through the system, and I'm out here for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out here.
Damn,
So
yeah.
it's y'all not reaching me. Y'all not reaching me. I'm not hearing. I'm out here by myself the way I'm feeling. So I had to get out the mindset in the jail of them pretty much telling me that you come out, just get a job. Like, okay, cool, but I gotta live, dog. I gotta live. So I come
So
out.
last question for you then who became the what's the vision? What's the role model? What you putting up on the board is like, oh, I could do it like this person, or I could do it this way.
Mm. I think probably them niggas that kept me in, the niggas I look at for real be artists, music artists, and I mean, obviously that's the all the black kid dream is rap and ball. You know what I'm saying? I used to play ball too. Once you realize it ain't that, it's always is the rap artists. I see them. They give me hope. They give me, oh, you could be this nigga that dropped out in the 7th grade and be a multi-millionaire. He could do that. So I could see it, and I could see producers, and I could see people doing. So them people give me hope. And then I figure out my own way. I move. Me moving was open my mind toward that. I'm out this place now. That's literally jumping out the program. Like, oh shit, move to this city where you don't know nobody and make friends and introduce yourself in new circles. Now I realize, oh, I'm in this place where I'm not crazy now. I'm not bad now. Now niggas don't look at me like that at all. Like, now they look at me like, oh, they open arms, so now I can learn, I can teach. It's not just this constant, I don't even know how I felt, just like this constant, you're a loser, you ain't gonna be nothing type shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel that when I jumped out to New York. I was able to really look, learn, I start reading, I start making relationships, I start really finding myself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that 26 to 30 period is a big time in people's life where they do that.
Dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad glad you had that experience, bro.
Yeah, right. Nigga, like, yeah, I'm glad, nigga.
Because I met you after this, so it's good to like know, you know what I'm saying, how you got here
for
and shit.
sure, boy. Nigga was in motherfucking in hunger, desperation, like that survival mode for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, 100%.
That shit is a hard thing to get out of, and I say that because I know that there's people that's going through that right now, that's in that can't get out of it, or they feel like they ain't got no hope. But it's like, yo, if you got that belief in you, and you got, if there's anybody around you that fuckers, there will always be niggas there, because I'm me, you know what I'm saying? So there will always be niggas amongst them other niggas that tell me, hey, you that nigga, Kief, like, period, you know what I'm saying? So I could always fall back on them type niggas or hear that too. Wasn't just pure hate. It would be niggas that let me know, like, all right, yeah, I'm on to some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Something's resonating.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to get into more of your shit, you know what I'm saying? Now that we got off of my shit, you know what I'm saying? I want to
man.
I want to kind of, I don't know, would you want to do a fit check prior, or you want?
Yeah, let's do a little fit check. Let's do a little fit check.
All right, well, let these niggas know how you cover, bro.
So, appropriate for the topic, we came uniformed up. These like I think we both got a little kind of updated Dickie suit situation happening.
It's that state pen blue for real.
yeah, you in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I go bottom up again.
What's that material? Was this nylon canvas?
It's like a sateen. So this company that did the set, it's called. I've never heard anybody say it out loud. So I read it as Mon Italy. I could be messing that up. But out of LA, it's a sateen situation they got. Like I said, bro, I grew up in Denver, dog. We grew up on Dickie suits. So when I see an updated version of something that I could throw on, yeah, I'm copping that.
Always come correct.
So this is like updated. Y'all can't see, but it's got a actually crazy pleat situation that make the structure kind of dope. Me, I got on the crystals.
Depending on these camera setup, I might start standing up during my fit checks. I might start standing up, get them niggas the whole look.
Yeah, nah. If I came proper enough, if I was steamed up, I might do that.
I feel it.
Got the pearls on underneath here. Sunslide. Switched up the glasses.
Yeah, what's the frames?
Real
Winston like.
The Winston frames.
That's Brendon, aka Winston, just in case I ain't know. That's his AKA.
Only Kief though. Only Kief ever called me that. I was with my homegirl. I buy glasses pretty much everywhere I go. With my friend down in DC, and I think the spot was called Crew. Crew. But I seen the gold or the green frames. I'm as you see, I'm greened out. Love green right now.
It's a dark green. It doesn't look black from here.
Yeah, probably they probably can't even see. But yeah, then the Sakai waffle on the feet. Son, very calm, but like just uniformed out in the program.
It's very very appropriate. Very appropriate uniforms for the uniform combo we about to have.
What you coming with, bro?
How I came today, man. I'm in the state pen blue.
I see that.
All blue. This I like my labels, but I don't like my labels to show.
100%. I want you 100%.
I like my labels. I like them to show. So I got a little fair guy under here. All blue is from Acne. You see the kicks, niggas know. The Dior Jordan collabs, you know what I'm saying?
I don't like my labels to show.
These I like a show, but a little pop, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna get it on the kicks, maybe a little scarf, you know what I'm saying? Switched up the jewelry, throwing the white. Little bracelet again for my man Moses. Rollie on today, Meteorite. Throwing the Cardi frames to go with them, all white. I mean,
gotta throw the Cardi's on.
Yeah, it's feeling real proper for this episode.
Shout out to Detroit, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, shout out to the D for sure. All right, but I want to get into more on yours because you have a
completely different story, bro.
Completely different story, completely different upbringing. We couldn't be more opposite and more alike, you know what I'm saying?
Couldn't be more my brother, though.
Yeah, exactly. You know how I go. Brendon is somebody who I view as I could have been Brendon, you know what I'm saying? Like with the direction, if I was more education oriented, I would have I could see myself following down a similar path that you followed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I can see that.
If I was in the
I can see us switching places for sure.
Yeah,
in life,
right.
yeah.
It ain't much that make that go like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If one person was to talk to me where I go to college, I'm planning on taking the route you go. I
feel like if my parents had a similar like migrant situation, like story, I probably would be in
you raising yourself, you know what I'm saying?
probably be in a different situation.
Yourself.
Yeah.
I'm outside by myself. So
yeah. I never thought of that, but yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's no struggle. My parents take care of me, but they was not able to. They're not from America.
Couldn't navigate it.
Nah, I'm navigating this bitch dolo, and I'm big brother. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta jump off.
And it's funny because you was in the birds, I was in the gang infested
Yeah,
neighborhood.
exactly.
So
Like,
that's the
word,
funny
word,
part.
word.
My cousin's coming up from Atlanta and Texas. Like my grandma, like, no, you can't wear that. You can't wear that.
Word,
That's the
word.
type
Yeah, I
of
ain't
neighborhood
had to
I'm in and shit.
Yeah, we ain't doing none of that shit on the East. But I say that to say because I've seen your not all of it, but your journey. You went to Howard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're a Howard graduate to getting into the corporate life, and I admire how you've even. I love the jobs that you've worked in the corporate life. I love how you've been able to jump up to you make more than the average black man your age. You know what I'm saying? You make more than the average man your age. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's admirable to me, and is a path that I admire. But
There was a lot of programming that went into that, to be honest.
and I understand. It's probably where I've strayed away and all of that. But now you've got rid of all that. You said, fuck the corporate world. Finally, at your big age, I said, fuck the corporate world. I'm out of here. I'm about to get into my healing shit. I'm about to go on my spiritual journey. I'm about to raise my son, but I'm going to still get this bag, et cetera, et cetera. How were you able to finally say, you know what? I'm off this shit. Get out of the program, because this is a program that probably 95% of our audience or the world is in that they will relate to.
Man, it's so interesting. So, really quick, how did I even end up in the situation in the first place? I'm going to this school. As a kindergartner, my teacher says to my mom, you got to get this kid out of this school. Send him to a different school, put him in this whatever program for kids that, you know, they feel like have a brighter future academically or whatever, right? So I start that. I get on that wave in public school, and then 6th grade I'm still in that same program in Denver public schools, but I end up going to a school where there's dope teachers, but there's also weak teachers, and it's that pivotal like 6th grade moment where it's like, which path are you going to go? Like, I don't know how it is in other cities.
That's where it went left for me.
But in 6th grade is where everything changes.
Yeah, it went left. My
And
mom saw the shit.
you get put on the hood in 6th grade. A lot of people lose their virginity. Like that's like
that's when niggas
you in middle
up.
school now, and you looking up at a 13-year-old. You 11. You like, oh, that's what I want to be.
Big
Or
dog
I'm 14 years old. Such a gap, right?
He fucking hoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so my mom saw it wasn't going right, and so she put me in this private school. What she said was, you're going to test for it, and if you get a scholarship, you're going. And I got a scholarship, I'm going. So I end up going there, and so it was not only that you're supposed to go to school, like it's a college prep school, so you're going to go to college, that's a given, but then it's competitive to who goes to what school and who goes what on the SAT and all this shit. And
what age did you know, sorry to interrupt, but what age did you know that you were going to college? I don't
even know. In elementary school, I tried to skip this whole shit. I had a teacher tell me you could get your GED whatever year you could pass it. So by the time I got to middle school, I was like, oh yeah, let me do that. And my mom didn't want me to do that, and I was always kind of seen as a bright kid. So
right.
she didn't want me to be on the accelerated track and miss out on my dad too. You know, my dad wanted to keep me, like, even as a kid, they wanted me to model and shit. And my dad's like, no, he's going to be a regular kid. You know what I'm saying? They was very intentional about that. But I'm just running through, like, I don't know what age it was, to be honest with you, but it was a given. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I remember I failed the 9th grade, and they made me go do an IQ test and some shit. And they're like, bro, look at this and then look at your grades. Like, you gotta do something, bro. But I was never really into school like that, to be honest with you, bro. I just knew I was smart, and I was trying to jug. Bro, niggas in high school, they used to joke like, "Do you even have a backpack?" I wouldn't do no schoolwork out that joint.
Yeah.
If you sign homework, I considered you a weak teacher. If you can't teach it during the day,
that was my motto.
then it's like
motto,
you not good at your job. I'm not gonna suffer. So I was one of them kids, man. But I still saw a job working for other people as like that's the only thing I really knew. Like my parents weren't entrepreneurs. My dad was a firefighter. My mom, had a bunch of different jobs growing up. And that generation, my dad, because I grew up in Denver where my dad's from, so all his siblings kind of either went to school at not the time that they would normally would, but eventually got degrees, worked for a city or state job, and like that was security.
That's your view. That's your eyes optical of success.
Yeah. So, and my mom actually had a degree, like went right after high school, but moved to a different city, and it just never. She's in a great place now, but at that time she was kind of temp jobs and here and there and whatever. And so, anyway, I say all that to say I was always smart. I didn't always believe in the education thing, but I always thought I had to have a job.
To have a job, you have to have the education,
bro. So that's the program they give you. You got to go to school, then you get a job, and that's the thing. And like you're wasting this, and you know how much people sacrifice for you to come here and do this, and it's like you gotta. And then you get to I'm glad I went to Howard, which was dope because I didn't have to be on a white versus black program. I could just be me, and that was a dope situation. But even still, bro, I was a class clown in high school. I came to Howard telling jokes, and there's people like, yo, we paying for this. And I respected it so much. But I was like, yo, y'all ain't even, like, we 18 years old. Y'all not even kids no more, man. Y'all been on some wild shit. Yo, niggas was not feeling it, dog.
Hey, yo,
that's a whole nother program. Like, we could get on the Black Elite program from there. Like, that was some wild shit, too. But I'm going a roundabout way to say, you get to this corporate world and you realize the thing that people have told you is the only way out, education, and then get this job. And when I say out, to some sort of level of financial freedom that you didn't have growing up, is an environment which you knew, but you don't know the level to which they hate you. And I started when I first like corporate, like go every day to an office job in Chicago, the most segregated city in the nation, like major city in the nation.
At what age was that?
This is at 23.
All right, so fresh out.
Yeah, fresh out.
Yeah.
And so, bro, it was just like, it's like they never talked to a black person before.
Word.
And it's weird. The engagement is weird. Like, they asked, like, hey, do you want to take notes in this meeting? And I'm like, no, not particularly.
What you mean? Do I want to? If I wanted to, I'd already be doing it, nigga. Fuck you mean?
And they say that like leading up to the meeting, I'm like, nah, not for real. Yeah. Like I'm thinking I'm coming from the East Coast. I'm coming from around black people. We can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Bro, but the program of what you supposed to wear, how you supposed to talk, you can't. Bro, I remember being in that job and I took Adderall every day to even do the job. And eventually I had to realize like, oh, if this job was for me, I wouldn't need a drug to do it every day.
Right.
And that's how I felt about corporate overall. If it was for me, there wouldn't be a code switch. There wouldn't be anything. I would be able to exist in peace with myself at all times if it was for me. And the ultimate thing that it ended up being is corporate structures are built off of fear. And as I sought to exist in more love in my life and have that pure energy around me and not exist in fear, the idea of even urgency, the idea of these deadlines, but also the idea of these looming figures, the board, the CEO, whoever, I just wasn't motivated by that fear anymore. And I realized that there's enough people here that are motivated by the fear that this won't work for me if I'm not. And I don't want it to. To be honest, I'm not more committed to making that job work than existing in love in a pure space. And so I was like, you know what? I'm out.
And that's you even from Yeah, I applaud that. 1,000%.
That was like a decade of time in between.
Exactly.
Or wait,
yeah,
actually,
that's
way
the short.
more.
That's the short story for sure.
Yeah.
I collected a lot of checks from the folks in between time, but that's part of the game you got to play. That's their survival. The rent's due the first of every month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say and even then you worked your way in the corporate structure to a leadership position where you had a team and was managing. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what would be your advice to maybe your team or those people that are 26, 27 that is currently feeling how you feel. They feel, I don't want to code switch. I don't want to be taking Adderall. I don't want to be drinking coffee every day. I don't want to wear this. I don't want to do that. Do you got anything that you can present them to where it's like, because you understand they're still trying to survive?
Yeah, no, and I'm not gonna pretend like we don't exist in a capitalist society, and you don't have to play ball if you want to be here. If not, I suggest Costa Rica or maybe the DR or something.
Yeah, word.
Which is not that I haven't considered it myself. So I'm not saying that to belittle. It's honestly the advice is not that different from your advice, which is like, or what I heard you say about how you got through, which is you really have to sit with your value and understand your value. And I see actually the younger generation coming to the workforce having no doubts about their value and having honestly no regard or very little regard, comparatively speaking, for the hierarchy and for the systems and that sort of thing, which ruffles a lot of feathers and causes egos to do whatever. But I commend it. But the point is, once you understand your value and what you accept for yourself, it will be very clear to you where you are valued and if it's worth it for you to compromise on that value to earn a living. And I think there are places where that compromise is worth it, and you have to be very specific about what that looks like. And there's places where it's not. And for those people who are in leadership positions who are Black folks, brown folks, whatever, my biggest piece of advice is to be yourself, to show up unapologetically as you, wear what you wore. What Dion say, like, talk how you was talking earlier.
You was not talking like that a minute ago. Talk how you was talking to me earlier.
It makes an impact though, like
it keeps you yourself.
We have a mutual friend now, Jeremy, who's used to be a member of one of my teams in the corporate life.
Shout out Jerm, man.
Jerm, what up?
Shout out Jerm.
And shout out to Jeremy from Harlem. That's a little
There's a Harlem boy for sure.
Yeah, I
got
nigga. ASAP shout him out in a video we made together, said that exact thing.
Yeah.
But he tells a story of the first time we got in a meeting together. We, like, I'm the VP of the team. He's not. He's an assistant type of role, assistant producer role on the team, and or associate producer role on the team. And so it's like, it could be this thing. It could be a power struggle. It could be a whatever if you make it that. First thing I say, what's up, nigga?
He like, oh,
yeah, right? He like, oh.
2 words, drop everything. Like, oh, I'm here, bet.
Yeah. And at that moment, he felt safe. He felt like he could be him. It's not a threat for him to be himself to his job because he knows somebody's actually sees him. You know what I'm saying? And that means the world. So I had to show up as myself, but he had to, embrace that and do whatever. And so I think, like, it's the value, right? And for me, I've been in situations where I don't feel valued. Bro, I worked a job, literally come out somebody's mouth, you dress like an African dictator. To my reply was, you dress like an African colonizer. But I mean, we had that banter, but it's like, it's places where I didn't feel that exchange made sense. I'm not finna come here every day and hear this mess for $1. There's places where it did, and I'm blessed to have been able to navigate that. And I know I've been ranting, but one other thing I want to say is, Black people have the biggest gift in the world. We have the ability to translate because we exist in so many different spaces. The Black people in America specifically, because you have to exist outside of your own world at all times. And yes, there's a code switching element to it, but the reason you're able to code switch because you can speak somebody else's language. That's a superpower in the corporate world.
Facts.
And so
I always tell niggas that's a different speaking black, and when people say they can't understand you, or even mumble rappers, all that, they speak in English, but you can't understand it. That's a different language.
But I speak nigga in the club. I speak athlete. I speak corporate. I speak healing. I speak. But a lot of black people exist in so many different spaces that they don't give themselves credit for. So my advice is, you can hear every language. Don't turn off your ears from listening. Just when you translate in your own language. That's my advice.
Bars, nigga. Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here. What these niggas talking about, dog? That's some real shit. That's some real shit, dog. I swear to God. I swear to God. Nah, that's how it is. And then I'm even thinking like how we both came to the same shit. The message here is stay true, stay you. If you black, you got the best superpower you could have. Keep being you. Show that shit at all times. Embrace that shit. Jump 1000% in it. Dress how you want to dress. Talk how you want to talk. And get through till they understand you. And if they can't understand you, or it's conflict, or you running a friction, that's not the place for you. You got to be out of that.
Yeah, and it's like, I wasn't a lawyer, right? So I didn't have to wear a suit.
Mm-hmm.
But I worked at places where you could wear what you quote unquote want to wear, and I was wearing chinos because I felt like, oh, that's what I have to wear, and it's something against me. And black people do this in the workplace. There's more eyes on me, so I need to do how they do.
You have to be the exceptional Negro.
The exceptional Negro, the whatever. Yeah. But there's more eyes on you, and that's why it's so much more valuable for you to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're ill at what you do, it's going to shine regardless. And I started seeing people like, damn, who is that? Who's come in here, no regard for anything. And there's always those people that's like, oh, he's special because he's so much him, nobody can even tell him what to do.
Exactly.
Because they don't even know what it is he's doing in the first place.
I don't know. It ain't
if I'm trying to be you can always tell me how to do it better. But if I'm doing me, you have no concept of what I'm doing, so you have nothing to say about it.
That's it.
And that was the ticket for me, dog.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's it. Hey. I feel like we did what we need to do.
We did what we came to do.
I feel like we 2-0 sweep this motherfucker.
Episode 2 in the bag.
Yeah, game 2, home game shit. You know what I mean? Episode 2 in the bag. That was deprogramming. We really hope that y'all took something away from this. And of course, over the length of our podcast and our series, we'll of course dive deeper into these subjects and topics, and y'all can feel free to ask us any kind of questions and come to us. We're real human beings. We really love
100%.
Like, we want to have these conversations. We want to move our people forward with unity and love.
We've created this to create a community, so we need y'all.
That's it.
We dependent on y'all, so please.
That's it. Hey, stay dangerous. I love you, my nigga.
Love you, my nigga.
You already know.
Bang.
We out.